Greetings, guitar engineers. I'm Desi Cerna, and in this video, I'm going to answer the question, in what key is Sweet Home Alabama? Equal to the popularity of Sweet Home Alabama is the controversy surrounding its key. Some people think it's in the key of D. Others say it's in the key of G. Some guitar players play solos using D major pentatonic scale patterns, and other guitar players play solos using G major pentatonic scale patterns. So which key and scale are correct? And what did the song's co-writer and lead guitarist Ed King say? Well, let's dive in and take a closer look, beginning with the main chords to the song. In their simplest form, they are D, C, and G. The song is in 4/4 time, and it's played like this. Again, I'm playing the chords in their simplest form. When combined, these chords all fit into the G major scale. D is the 5 chord, C is the 4 chord, and G is the 1 chord. In music theory, we would say that this is a 5-4-1 chord progression. Well, since chords D, C, and G all fit together into the G major scale, you could consider this song to be in the key of G, and you can use G major scale patterns to play guitar solos. You can also use G major pentatonic scale patterns. But hang on, there's more to this story. Even though the chords fit into the G major scale, the music begins on the D chord. And many musicians consider the D to be the primary chord. This would make D Mixolydian mode, because you're using notes and chords from the G major scale, but you're centering on the 5th degree D. In this case, you would count the D chord as 1, and the other chords would be numbered like this: 1, flat 7, 4. Now, when you approach the music this way, you would want to use D Mixolydian mode scale patterns to play guitar solos. Now, D Mixolydian mode scale patterns are the same as G major scale patterns. The only difference is, in D Mixolydian mode, you consider D to be your starting point. And since we're now viewing D as the tonal center of the music, this means that you would play D major pentatonic scale patterns. So Sweet Home Alabama could be considered to be in the key of G or the key of D, D Mixolydian mode to be more specific. So which is correct? Well, it depends how you hear the song. The chord progression seesaws back and forth between D and G, with C acting as a fulcrum. This back and forth causes the music to sound a bit ambiguous, kind of like one of those ambiguous images that look like one thing at first glance, but then looks like something else once your perspective changes. I'm thinking of the iconic illustration known as Rubens' vase. Do you see a vase, or do you see two faces? Now, what do you hear when you listen to Sweet Home Alabama? Do you hear the music resolving on D? Or do you hear the music resolving on G? When you play D major pentatonic patterns and G major pentatonic patterns, which scale patterns sound like a better fit? If you spend enough time on this song, you may come to the same conclusion that I have come to. I hear the music both ways. In the past, I always considered Sweet Home Alabama to be in the key of G, and I played guitar solos that were based in G major pentatonic scale patterns. But now, I hear D major pentatonic scale patterns working also. I just need to play the D major pentatonic scale patterns for a moment until my ear adjusts. Alright, well, what did the song's co-writer and lead guitarist Ed King have to say about the song's composition? We need to look to the producer of Sweet Home Alabama, Al Kooper. In Cooper's book, Backstage Passes and Backstabbing Bastards, he says that he considered the song to be in the key of D, or D Mixolydian mode to be more specific, but guitarist Ed King insisted that the song was in the key of G, and that the band always ended the song on G when they played it live. Well, there you go. The man who co-wrote the song and played all the lead guitar solos said the song was in the key of G, and he claims that he approached the song as if it were in the key of G. However, I hear Ed King playing with an emphasis at D at times. The very first lead line you hear at the beginning of the song is actually played in the D major pentatonic scale. And the first guitar solo in the song begins with notes that resolve on a D major triad. It seems that even though Ed King was thinking the key of G, his playing reflected a D tonality at times. So this song really is a bit of both keys. No discussion of Sweet Home Alabama would be complete without addressing the F chord that occurs in the song. You hear it at the beginning of the first solo, and then it comes up a few more times. So, where does the F chord come from? I consider this to be a classic example of modal interchange. Modal interchange is when you combine notes and chords from two parallel scales. The most common type of modal interchange involves the most common major modes, Ionian mode, which is the plain major scale, and Mixolydian mode. If you're thinking of Sweet Home Alabama as being in the G major scale, you would mix it with the G Mixolydian mode. The G major scale includes the major chords G, C, and D, while the G Mixolydian mode includes the major chords G, C, and F. So when you mix the scales, you have four major chords, G, C, D, and F. In music theory, you would say that you're in the key of G, but you're borrowing the F chord from the parallel scale G Mixolydian. Lynyrd Skynyrd used this same composition technique in the song Freebird. You hear modal interchange, which is also called modal mixture, in the bass line to Sweet Home Alabama too. During the second guitar solo that begins at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, you hear the following bass line. During this section, the bass player interprets the G chord in the progression as a G7 from the parallel scale of G Mixolydian mode, and you hear the flat 7th F in the bass line. There's one more thing I'd like to say about the song Sweet Home Alabama. It's no ordinary 3-chord song. The song actually features 4 chords like we already discussed, but more than that, the song is played with carefully crafted interwoven parts. Listen to the interplay between the different guitars. For example, at the beginning you have one guitar playing while another guitar plays. And then there's that lead line that comes in. When you get to the chorus, the guitar parts change in order to define the section of the song differently. Listen to how the drums, guitars, and bass accent particular beats together. Oh, and that piano solo? Epic! These details are what make Sweet Home Alabama sound so distinct. The song may only make use of 4 chords, but the music is composed brilliantly, and the instruments are played expertly. That's why Sweet Home Alabama is so legendary. Tune it up. Has all this talk about keys, scales, and modes left you feeling like you need to learn some music theory? Enroll in my free 6-step lesson series, Understand Music Theory and Master the Fretboard. Click on the link in the video description. So, how do you hear Sweet Home Alabama? Did you find my analysis helpful? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm Desi Cerna. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on that little bell icon to receive alerts when new videos are uploaded. Also, I'd appreciate it if you'd click like, then stay tuned for more.